Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
The show started with Judgement Day making their way to the ring. Priest said he lost his call at Balor and McDonough after his defence of the title at Backlash and that he was sorry. Balor said that they were just trying to help. After this love-in, they all hugged and made up. Finn Balor then went on to say that he'd be getting a bye to the next round of the King of the Ring tournament as Drew McIntyre, his opponent, was still injured. Balor went on to say that he's going from a prince to a king. Out came Adam Pearce to spoil the party. Your first opponent is Jey Uso.
Balor controlled the majority of the match, but Jey hits a suicide dive to momentarily gain a little ground. Back from the break, Balor is yet again in control. A crossbody by Jey gets him a 2 count, but then out of the crowd comes an angry-looking Drew McIntyre.
Doesn't he have any other look at the moment? I mean, it's all he's got, isn't it?
Which distracts Jey. But not enough for him to then spear Balor and pick up the win and proceed to the next round of the King of the Ring tournament. Drew entered the ring as Jey made his escape.
Backstage, we see McIntyre complaining to Adam Pearce about not being able to fight in the King of the Ring. Pearce reiterating that he's not medically cleared. Drew, not happy with this, gets in his car and drives off. Then another QR code flashes up. When scanned, it takes you to a WWE webpage called Derisive, which means expressing contempt or ridicule. Anyway, there's a creepy video of an empty room that plays with various other images flashing throughout. Words play over the video saying, "Drink from his suffering. Even now you doubt us, but soon you will understand that all we ever wanted was a chance." After the video, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a crow image that you can click on. I'm telling you, it sting's coming back. This takes you to yet another page with a puzzle on it. When worked out, it reads, "You know nothing. Hell is only a word. Reality is much, much worse." So anyway, as Drew drives off, out of shot, another car pulls up, and out gets CM Punk. As he passes Pearce, he tells him to play my music, I have something to say. The camera then follows Punk from backstage all the way through to the centre of the ring.
Punk wants Drew to turn his car around and meet him in the middle of the ring. He asks the crowd to tweet Drew and tell him that Punk's waiting for him, but alas, Drew doesn't appear. As Punk's music played, he told Drew down the camera that he's going to hide in a bowl of haggis at the Clash of the Castle and break Drew's face.
That is one big bowl of haggis. Damage Control then come out with Iyo Sky in her Queen of the Ring match against Natalia. Natalia takes it to Iyo, hitting her with a suplex for a 2 count and then a powerbomb, again for a 2 count. But it isn't enough to stop Sky performing a moonsault for the victory and heading to the quarterfinal of the Queen of the Ring. We then find out that Asuka has to face Lyra Valkyria in another first round match of Queen of the Ring, but Asuka is injured, so Dakota Kai will face Lyra instead.
Ilja Dragunov faces off against Riochet in their first round King of the Ring match. Riochet is shown winning the first speed tournament holding his new belt, but doesn't wear it out. It takes 2 H-bombs to finish off Riochet and for Dragunov to advance to the next round.
Backstage we see Sheamus saying he doesn't like Gunther and then he gets under his skin like no one else.
Nile and Zoe Stark up next for their Queen of the Ring first round bout. Nile hits a huge bulldog off the top rope on Stark, but only for a 2 count.
Now surely this could be renamed the Pitbull and give it a more distinctive identity when she does it, seeing as that is her moniker, the Pitbull.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Stark hits the Z360 to beat Nile and progress to the next round.
we then see R-Truth telling Adam Pearce that he wants to wrestle the Huskies, seeing as at the home of the Yukon, with Miz then telling him that they're a basketball team. But sports is sports, replies Truth. Anyway, Bron Breakker then asks Pearce why he isn't in the King of the Ring tournament. "We'll talk in my office," responds Pearce.
Backstage, we see Damien Priest saying Braun Strowman needs dealing with, and nominates McDonough to do the job. We then see Dominic try and integrate Carlito into Judgement Day, but Priest was having none of it, telling Dirty Don to get rid of him.
Next we have Bronson Reed facing off against Chad Gable. The match barely got going before Sami Zayn interrupted, first throwing Reed out of the ring before setting up Gable for the haluva kick. The kick never met its target though, as Reed slammed both Zayn and Gable to the mat before leaving them both in a heap in the middle of the ring.
We see Gunther backstage saying he's already the general of the ring and is soon to be king of the ring.
And actually, I think he'll win that.
Yeah, I can see that definitely. Yeah.
Back in the ring, we see Michael Cole having a chat with Becky Lynch. She puts over the new talent drafted up from NXT, saying she trusts Lyra Valkyria. Liv Morgan then heads out saying she wants a title shot. Lynch says you got it at King and Queen of the Ring. This gets interrupted by Damage Control saying they're out here to remind them who runs Monday Night Raw. As Damage Control surround the ring, Becky and Morgan go back to back as adversaries join forces. Morgan then leaves the ring saying, "Not my problem." Out from the back comes Valkyria for the save, as her and Lynch then clear house, leaving Damage Control to lick their wounds.
Backstage, once again, we see Sami Zayn saying enough is enough with Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. So he decides a triple threat match for the Intercontinental belt is in order at the King of the Ring tournament.
We then see Lyra Valkyria face off against Dakota Kai in another first round match for Queen of the Ring. A Nightwing wins it for Lyra, allowing her to progress.
Kofi Kingston then says he's going to win King of the Ring for the injured Xavier Woods.
Next up, a chop fest and last match of the night, Gunther versus Sheamus. Gunther accompanied by Kaiser, of course.
After a collar and elbow tie-up, the chops begin, with Gunther even trying the 10 beats of Balor on Sheamus, only for Sheamus to stop it after 2. Then back body dropping Gunther onto the apron. Back in the ring, a clothesline gives Gunther a 2 count over Sheamus, before White Noise gets Sheamus a 2 count over Gunther.
Now it was Sheamus' turn to beat the Balor on. 17 hits he got on Gunther. As Gunther started to turn the match around though, Kaiser then got involved, trapping Sheamus' foot in the ropes. With the ref not looking, Kaiser then drop-kicked Sheamus' knee. Even though the ref didn't see it, he knew something was afoot, or rather a knee. Kaiser denies any involvement, like the pantomime villain that he is, but still gets sent to the back by the ref. With Sheamus' knee now injured, Gunther goes to work on it. For good measure, Gunther then goes up top to finish off Sheamus, but Sheamus digs deep and manages to get up and perform the Celtic Cross on Gunther, but only scores a 2 count when he goes for the cover. A knee and brogue kick by Sheamus still only get him a 2 count before Gunther locks in a half crab. With the pressure on and nowhere to go, Sheamus taps out and Gunther proceeds to the next round of the King of the Ring. Thank you again for what... Oh, just before we go. We each predicted 4 matches right at Backlash and we got 4 right.
So it's a tie at the moment and we have no outright winner.
That's for something a bit later though.
Thank you again and we hope to see you soon.